Warriors back here with another video. I'm just flowing at the moment. I speak a lot about validation because that is something that I've always struggled with. And just a little bit of background on myself. I'm a middle child. I'm the middle child of both my father and my mother. I'm the middle child of my mother. She has 3, and the middle child of my father, and he has 5. So I land directly in the middle of both of my mother and my father. And I say that middle child syndrome is real. Like, sometimes you do feel as if like you're the forgotten about child because you got your older siblings, you got younger siblings. It's easy for you to get caught up in the wash of things, right? Now, I don't blame either one of my parents. I don't think that they did that intentionally, and it wasn't all the time. But there was sometimes, in a good chunk of time, where I felt as if I was forgotten about. And living that lifestyle really taught me to be self-reliant, I guess you can say, really resilient to a lot of things because I didn't really have many people that I can run to and talk to. You know, I was a bigger kid growing up. I was fat. I had a lot of issues in my home life, which translated to me having issues in school. And I was just a bad child, but the badness really was just give me attention, help, there's something going on. But no one ever, it was very few people in my life who dug deeper than this is just a bad kid. Like, wait a minute, like, he has a story. There's something more to him. There's something more going on here that we're not noticing and that we're not seeing. So I'm very thankful to the people who poured into my life. But back to validation, yeah, I just didn't really have a lot of friends growing up. I was the middle child of both my mother and my father. I was always a fat kid, so I was bullied. It's easy to make a fat joke or say something about a fat person. Like, that's easy to come off the top of that. You dig what I'm saying? So I seeked out a lot of validation because I just wanted to feel like I belonged, and I wanted to feel as if I was a part of something. But there was always my conscience telling me, nah, you shouldn't be doing that. Nah, don't run with that crowd. Nah, don't be here. Nah, don't be there. And there would be little things that would happen out there, little subtle cues like, oh, that's not for you. I'm trying to show you this. So I'm definitely thankful for having that. But I speak a lot to the validation because even to this day, at 22, knowing that I've been this way for some time, and even me transitioning from an unhealthy lifestyle to a healthier lifestyle and being in, I would say, the best shape I've ever been in my life right now, I still seek validation, whether it be women looking at me at the gym or people coming up to me telling me I look good or women staring at me or whatever the case may be. I still seek that validation. So it's still an ongoing battle, an ongoing fight. It's not as bad as it used to be, but I recognize that this is something in myself that I have to work on. And, you know, as much as I speak to, you don't need validation, you don't need validation. Do you need it? No. Is it nice to have it? Yes. Because sometimes we do want that reassurance that we're doing the right thing or we're on the right path or people notice the work that we're doing. But sometimes it is necessary for you to go at it alone. Like, sometimes you take the less traveled road because there's something there that life or God or whatever you believe in is trying to show you. And it's not for everybody. Like, I would find myself trying to explain myself to people, you know, seeking that validation, and it would just make the situation 10 times worse because now I'm speaking to them in a language that they don't even comprehend or understand. And now that's further putting me behind the 8 ball because now I got to break every little thing down and go at it like this and say it like this and make sure it kind of became a draining process, you know, and people kind of can sense that on an individual who's seeking to be validated, and it's just not a good look. You see what I'm saying? So how I've, you know, in my life navigated that process and began to move away from being validated really just was getting in tune with myself and understanding who I am. And that can mean what my purpose is. Why do I think I'm here? How can I use the gifts that I possess to help other people? What are some things about me that I don't like? How can I improve to be the best version of myself so that when I go to give myself to another person, whether it be through acts of service, through a relationship of any sort, I can put myself in a position to where we're both benefiting from what I'm doing. But that takes a lot of effort and I would say solitude. But, you know, that could be up for debate. I'm a big believer of solitude because when it is just you, you know, I believe you are more in tune and you learn a lot more about yourself versus surrounding yourself with a bunch of people. Now, I'm not saying you can't have friends and you can't have go-to people. I'm just saying be very mindful that the journey that you are on is solely for you. So when you're looking for that reassurance, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? Like, am I doing what I'm called to do? Like, am I progressing? Am I being a better person? Am I getting in better shape? And whatever your goals are, just understand that the path that you're on is solely specific to you as an individual. So the way that you kind of can gauge whether or not you're operating on the frequency of vibration that you're supposed to be operating on is look at the environment around you, right? Look at the people that you're attracting in your life. Look at who's around you. Look at the places that you find yourself in. Am I finding myself in a lot of draining situations? Am I attracting a lot of unpleasant people or toxic people, as they say? Am I constantly tired? Am I constantly fatigued? Like, you have to begin to take in your environment, to take in the things around you to gauge whether or not you're on the right path. And not to say that you won't have, your vices, because we all have them, but try to limit that as much as possible. Engage your effort and your progress based off of where you are in life, because the objective is to be better than what you were yesterday, or constantly taking steps to improve. I think sometimes, and even for myself, I'm speaking solely to me, I put a lot on my plate. I put a lot on my shoulders. So oftentimes I get very disappointed in myself for not being where I want to be in life. But I also have to take into account that the goals that I have and the things that I want to do take time, right? And I gauge myself now. Okay, well, I did a little bit today, I did a little bit yesterday, and I'm going to do a little bit tomorrow. Because you don't all have to get everything done in one day, and that's what I try to do. I try to load my plate, be a perfectionist, and get everything done. But if you're diverting your attention to all these different things, keeping in mind that the brain is not possible of multitasking on high-functioning skills or high-functioning tasks, you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to have some bumps and some bruises. You're going to have some lapses in judgment. So just to be mindful, to be patient with yourself. And in seeking validation, be very careful of who you allow close to you and who you tell your plans to. I'm a big believer of not talking about things until they come to fruition. But if you're going to ask for things, if you're going to go pray, or you're going to go manifest, make sure you're taking actionable steps to get you closer to your goals, is the point. And that's how you validate yourself. Okay, I got this goal in mind. I started this about 6 months ago or 3 weeks ago. Hey, I even may have started yesterday. These are the steps that I have set out for me. This is how far I've came, and this is how much further I got to go. Okay, I'm in a little bit better spot than I was yesterday. And then your self-confidence will grow, your self-love will grow, and then you'll begin to be able to validate yourself without needing that external validation. Again, is it nice? Is it complimentary? Of course. Necessity? No. So just something to keep that in mind as you're going on your journey. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Enjoy your 4th of July. Peace.